Good evening. Welcome to Nuggets Europe. I'm going to bring all the guys in a second, but our big guest tonight is Brendan Vogt from DNVR. Brendan, how are we on this fine afternoon in the Mile High City?
You know, I can't complain today. And it's strange times we're living in, as we always say on the DNVR podcast. But personally, I'm doing well, Michael. Appreciate you having me on, man.
Appreciate you, man. I'm going to try and hide my ball spot by repping your squad. So here we go.
I would have
all
noticed
good
if you didn't say anything.
It's all good, man. We're joined tonight with, obviously, Ben Kostick from UK Denver Nuggets, now Nuggets Europe. Ben, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good, man. It's we're getting there. 10 o'clock at night. It's still nice and daylight out here. I don't know what it's like in London, but it's lovely over here.
Dark. Just got a faint glow at Stansted Airport in the background. Lovely.
Let's go, good people. Hello to you, Mr. Malakovic, and I think I got that right or not. Hello, Mr. Benjamin from Nuggets UK, the legend that is at Nuggets UK on Twitter. Good evening to you, my friend.
Oh, thank you for having me. How are you?
Tired, exhausted.
Yeah.
I've watched too many Broncos Zoom videos and Nuggets Zoom videos over the last 24 hours. But I tell you what, lads, and the two bands, it's hard to watch a Nuggets game at 1:45 in the morning, and Jokic hasn't been playing in the second half. Bol is off a little, and it's hard to watch. But we got there last night. Scrimmage is over.
Yeah, well, it was an interesting game. I was very scared with that first play with Jokic's hand. I mean,
yeah, man.
My heart just sunk. I don't know about you guys.
The one thing
yeah, right. Yeah.
One thing that could go wrong, nearly did go wrong last night, but hopefully now we're obviously getting towards Saturday night and an early game as well, Brendan. Look, we've got a legend tonight as well I'm from DNVR and Serbia and by himself. We got Miroslav. Miroslav, just before I ask you how you are, you've obviously got exclusive news for every one of us and everybody watching, yeah?
Dobro večer from Serbia, first of all. And yeah, I was scared like hell when I saw that hit in Jokic's hand just at the beginning of the game, but it's okay. Well, we hope so, because he stayed for a long time after that in the game. So let's hope everything is fine.
What is your big news, Miroslav? What are you doing right after this broadcast? You can tell the world now if you want.
Yeah, right after we finish this broadcast, we will do a pilot show, first episode of Nuggets Europe Serbia podcast, first Serbian spoken podcast on Denver Nuggets. I'm really excited about that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, there will be some pretty well-known faces along with me. Two other guys that also show their faces on the DNVR DNBA show. So it should be really nice. I hope it will be good.
I definitely, and I know I speak for especially the lads from the UK here as well. We really appreciate your help as well. And I think it's awesome there's Serbians like that are going to come on and speak, because the market over there, Miroslav, is crazy. So it's going to be amazing to see what happens, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the broadcast next. And you'll see it either tonight or tomorrow morning online. Let's jump in now. We've got Brendan obviously here from DNVR. Brendan, your first name's very Irish, man. Very Irish, Brendan, and a little bit of an Irish twang in it, man. Any relation
I
there?
thought I was Irish my whole life, and then I found out I'm not really at all. So it's mostly German, actually, but a very, very German-Irish name I got here.
Excellent. I will take that, and you're technically a European at that rate, Brendan. Look, man,
Sure.
You have been on a train for the last few days, and that train is an express train for the Ball Express. I seen it last night. You're a very happy man whenever Ball and Michael Porter Jr. was on. What did you make, just first of all, and we'll go around, we'll go to Ben K, Miroslav, and then Benjamin. Brendan, what did you make of last night's game, man?
I thought it was really exciting. You know, we hopped on a loser's lounge and kind of turned it into a winner's lounge. 3 scrimmages, 2 losses, and like virtually 0 guards later, I'm more excited. I think I'm sort of back on that the future's bright, but also anything can happen now train. I mean, MPJ more so than Bol in terms of what might change this season. But, you know, with Bol, there's a ton of question marks, but the idea is the upside's there, but not just the upside, the situation that he's in. He's probably going to have to play a forward position in Denver. He's got a forward skill set, and he doesn't necessarily have to turn into KD, which is highly unlikely. can he turn into a matchup problem, a matchup nightmare on a team with Jokic, Murray, and MPJ? I think that's quite likely. And just to bring back the MPJ thing, I mean, when you watch that guy go off like he did in that game, he hasn't played since March. You just remember, like, man, this kid's not good. He's not really good. He's great. So I'm excited.
And Kay, you must be a happy man this morning seeing that result, or not the result, but seeing the performance. I mean, the Nuggets were down by over double figures at one point last night.
I mean, with these scrimmages, I genuinely couldn't care less. let's just have this straight. Like, they literally mean less than like even friendlies do in preseason warm-ups. Like they literally, and that's fine. That's great. However, it has got me stupidly excited for just the mystery box, which is, you know, Bol and really to see what MPJ can do. I think in a weird way, like having the break and everything, I think is going to do him wonders and sort of re-energize him and get him in. And I think it's just another boost of energy. I think with, you know, the backup center question mark over next year and stuff like that, having Bol come in and at least give us glimpses of things that he might be able to do in the future, I think is, you know, as a Nuggets fan, it gives you that little bit of warmth and a little bit of hug for the future. But, you know, I'm not excited. Like, I'm not taking anything too much away from the scrimmages. Like, let's get the real basketball started. Let's go from there.
And Saturday night, and I'm sure we'll talk about it in a second. Miroslav, did you watch that game last night at 1 a.m., you crazy Serbian? Man, I'm only joking, man. Did you watch the game live?
No. I promised to my DNVR friends I will not be watching it live. I watched it this morning, and it was an interesting game, really interesting game, some really interesting lineups. One thing I was actually the most excited about was seeing Jeremy Grant playing at the 3 for the whole game, or whole minutes he played. That was really interesting because I don't know if we really saw a lot of these minutes before. Of course, I was glad to see Murray to be really hungry for basketball. He really looked pumped up, and he played really well. MPJ as well, he played really good. I was glad about that. My biggest concern at this moment is Gary Harris, because we still didn't see him. I am guessing that it's a bit more serious comparing to other guys, and it's the hip, right, Brendan?
Yeah, but I don't know if it was that or just, you know, he got in there a little late, just like MPJ. So maybe if he just said, look, my hip's a little tight or a little sore, they said, there's no point. This is just a scrimmage. So, you know, Barton and Murray were also on the injury report in a similar fashion, then we ended up seeing them. So yeah. I think Gary's okay. I think it has more to do with how late he got in there and them not sort of rushing him back.
Benjamin, I know you said before we went live that you obviously watched the game this morning, 6 a.m. start. I'm sure you enjoyed it. I seen Katie Wingy obviously describe Jamal Murray last night as the blue arrow bubble, and it sort of started trending on Twitter. Sure. What was your thoughts of the game last night? And also there's a comment in here, so if you want to address it, thoughts on MPJ saying he doesn't want to blend in and wants to win a championship.
I mean, to answer your first question, I thought it was, like the other guys say, it was an interesting game to watch. But how many times have we seen that? How many times have we seen we're down, and then we begin that fight back? It's just the most Nuggets thing in the NBA. To me, I've seen it so many times where we start off slow, and yeah, it's a scrimmage game, but it's a good chance to get these to look at these guys and how they are, how their fitness levels are. It was great, and to hear MPJ saying those words, I haven't read the full quote, but from what I briefly saw, it's what more could you want? You know, what more could you want from a guy who, you know, he's had his ups and his downs. He's had to suffer through lack of minutes, playing garbage minutes. But I have got no doubt that he'll come through the other end and be a really good addition to the team. But you know, an addition to the team, you know, he'll want to play the role that's best for the team rather than play the role that's best for MPJ. And yeah, I'm really excited. Couldn't be more excited.
I'm really looking forward to it, and I have to say that's just my own input in the game. I loved watching MPJ last night. I think there was one of the rebounds where he took a shot and it came back. He got it himself, put it in. I just love his energy as well on the court, and I'm really excited to see what happens on Saturday. The game is at 6 p.m. in the UK and Ireland, 7 p.m. in Europe. Thank Jesus for that, and it's on Sky Sports here, so it's easy to watch. I've cancelled my league pass already. Brendan, this game against Miami on Saturday, I mean, it has to be a big win, doesn't it? I'm only joking, but surely the Nuggets can start off with a decent performance on Saturday.
You'd think so, huh? Surely. I don't know. I mean, I think on first hand, it wouldn't really be uncharacteristic of the Nuggets to come out flat. They ultimately win most of their games. They're a good team. I think they are who we think they are, but they do that, right? And sometimes, as Benjamin just alluded to, we see them clawing back a lot. But more to the point, they got a really slow start in Disney World. It took too long for most of their roster to get there. Most of their key players, their starting lineup still hasn't played together since March. So I don't know. I think these first handful of games could be rough, and I think Miami's a really good team, really well-coached team, and they play really, really hard. So if Denver comes out and they're kind of stuck in molasses, still working the rust off, it could be a big hole to climb themselves out of. Not to be a downer from the jump, but it's going to be a tough matchup, I think.
Ben K, do you guys want to fly? Well, sorry, you Ben K, do you want to fly over here on Saturday? I'm going to get the game on, have a big meetup, yeah?
I'm still self-isolating. So
oh my God, yeah.
I'm stuck here.
I can stand outside your window and we have in. Have you got Sky Sports? Yeah, all good.
I've got league pass. It's fine. Yeah, we're good.
Happy days. Are you excited for the game on Saturday? In a sense, obviously you're talking about scrimmage games there now, but what do you think the team can take? Because Brendan said it himself there. This team hasn't actually, the full starting lineup has not played together yet since Orlando started.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared. If that's the right word, I'm a little bit scared. A rusty Gary Harris having to follow around Jimmy Butler. You've got Monte Morris, who, how much ball has he played? Is he, how many guards have we seen in 3 scrimmages?
3,
one-ish.
So Troy Daniels, Murray, and Barton in the latter 2 played once, right? Yeah.
So the minutes are worrying, and Miami's not a walkover. If we had, Washington or whatever, where you could literally field us 5 as the starting 5 and would give it a good shot, then fine. But Miami aren't like that, unfortunately. So,
Miroslav, sorry, Ben, can I go ahead?
No, that was me, Tom.
Yeah, I love the gap between internet and 6 different countries. It's great fun. Sorry, guys. Miroslav, in what situation would you freak out if Michael Malone somehow played ball on Saturday?
I'm just really concerned about if Monte Morris will be ready for the first game against Miami, because if we don't have both Monte and Gary at the same time, that's a disaster in a preview of a disaster, because how many minutes should Murray and Barton then play? And you need to stagger those two on the point guard, and we don't want to see Torrey Craig on the point guard again in a competitive game, of course. So it's a big worry for me. I hope at least one of those 2 guys will be ready playing, or in the other case, if they just give MPJ 35 minutes of play time, that might solve some of the issues.
Benjamin, the option is there for you, my friend, again on Saturday. If you want to fly over, we can meet up, go to the bar and watch the game.
I would really like that. I would really like that. The reason I got Twitter in the first place is just to connect with other Nuggets fans. It's it's one of those things where you want to celebrate. You look around, you think it's just me. So I'd love that. I would love to take you up on your offer. I'm also self-isolating somewhat, so I'm going to have to pass. But in the future, keep that offer open, because I'll definitely take you up.
We will do a London meetup at some point, guys. We can't move on, lads, without talking about Brendan for a second. But just before we do, folks, there's a few people watching this. Get your comments in. I'm sure we can answer anything within reason. Brendan's had a big day, guys. He's got a puppy. This is my dog. I pick her up on Friday. Brendan, this must be a big day for you, my friend.
It is. I also have to amend my tweet. I mean to say no one cares about yours as much as you do. Everyone loves dogs, but no one wants to see the 15th picture in your camera roll. But I'm going to show them to you because I'm very excited. Mini Aussie coming home on Friday. Maisie May, she's a sweetheart. I grew up with a dog, but I've never had my own, and I'm really excited, you know? I'm feeling like an adult. Paying my bills, got a dog, got a job. Didn't think we'd be here, but we made it.
First step to adulthood, for
That's
sure.
Right, yeah.
Just don't do what I do, man. We got a puppy 2 years ago, and because we're teachers, we ended up putting the pup at my father-in-law's house. And 4 weeks later, unfortunately, he passed away because he was run over in the countryside. So just keep it in the house, and I'm still devastated to this day. I know off air, Miroslav had a number of interesting names for this pup, especially one important name.
Yeah, I mean, no pressure, man. But come on, Nicola with a C, like a proper British girl's name. It's just perfect.
Hey, you know, if it was just me, I'd have done that. I probably would have turned this into content somehow, made it a poll on DNVR Nuggets. But I've got a girlfriend, and she's putting her foot down. But I'm stoked on Maisie May. It's a good name.
Yeah.
I thought something like Vlaco or Tom Welsh, right? Tom Welsh car, I think, is what I came up with.
You could get like the dog a couple of dog bowls and call it Bull.
Perfect.
And try and get the
There
dog.
you go.
I don't know. I am running on empty, guys. It's coffee and Medeo all day today for me. Lads, let's move on. Last topic for today. And we obviously appreciate you coming on, lads. Miami, OKC, San Antonio, Portland, Utah, LA Lakers, Clippers, Toronto Raptors. Those last 3 games are very interesting. I'll start with you, Brendan. Realistically, how do you see these 8 seeding games going, and where did the Nuggets finish in the conference?
Yeah, so it's hard to say because I know Michael Malone has alluded to the fact that he's not necessarily trying to go 7-1, 8-0 here. The priorities are staying healthy, trying to get these guys in rhythm. But I don't think they're going to force anything here, and I do think it's going to be sloppy to start. So 4 wins is good. 5 would be great. I think 5-3 would be great, all things considered. And to be quite honest, it's hard to project where that leaves them, given each team is going to approach their set of games so differently. And the back set of these games, everyone's going to be playing teams that might have nothing left to play for at that point. So I'll just say I think they stick around in the 3. And I don't know. Maybe it's Houston.
Ben K, would you take the 3rd position and run for the hills?
Yeah, I can't see there being a great deal of movement at the top of either conference, frankly. And I think, the last 3 games, they're probably going to be just make sure we finish the game with everyone. Like that's going to be the most important thing. And I can't really see there being too much drama in the seeding games at our end of the scale, which is nice to say.
Yeah, and Miroslav, those last 3 games, the Lakers, the Clippers, Toronto Raptors, we've seen one of the comments here. For you, who is the biggest threat between the Lakers or Clippers for the Nuggets, I guess?
I'm not sure, really, because I don't think we match up really good with the Clippers. I think our matchup with Lakers is slightly better, even though it's terrible. But nobody knows how these games are gonna roll out. It's just a completely strange situation. No audience and no home court advantage. So God knows it will be chaos, and somebody will prevail out of that chaos. Why not Nuggets? Why not? Come on, we need to be optimistic.
Sir. Vamos, Forza.
Yep.
Forza Ragazzi. Oh, it's not even an Italian podcast, but we do have an Italian team now, so Forza Ragazzi. Benjamin, my friend, obviously 8-0, yeah, no bother whatsoever.
Oh, absolutely. Especially, I mean, realistically, looking over it, I mean, like you say, it's hard to predict. It's completely. I'd like to say that we'll be up for that game against the Blazers. The Blazers, and then the next game following that will be Utah, and I'd like to say they will be up for that game. And I mean, they're the 2 that I really, really want to see us win, because if we get those 2, then we've got the Lakers, then the Clippers, and then we finish off against the Raptors. So if we can get 2 results there against the Blazers and the Jazz, that would be great to see. But I agree with everyone else. I don't think there'll be a huge amount of movement up at the top.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't want to go off topic too much, but the East and the West, it's going to be interesting to see the bottom teams and see what happens with those last seeds. Lads, seriously, look, just looking at the schedule, we all know in the UK and Ireland anyway, Sky Sports have got like 99% of the games, but lads, like the first game's on at 6 o'clock UK, 7 o'clock Europe. The second game's on 9 o'clock UK. The third game's on 9 o'clock UK. Bingo, bingo, bingo. That's incredible. Like that's like go buy some beer and just sit in the house and watch. Brendan, I'm presuming it is unheard of, and I think it was you said last week as well. The Nuggets are barely on TV in the UK, bar playoffs. Yeah, and Benjamin, I'm sure you'd agree as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, have you ever heard of having a full night of basketball, watching the late game, and then getting a good night's sleep? I mean, it's like, very exciting, very exciting. And I mean, I've just signed up to three months of Sky Sports. Finish the Premier League, roll straight into the NBA. I've got League Pass. I do have it. I've had it all season. I've got the year-long thing. But if it's on Sky Sports, maybe I can put something else on the laptop, have something on the Sky Sports. It would be beautiful.
Yes, sir. And Brad's saying as well. Brad's in London. The schedule is awesome for Nuggets fans. There's literally, I think the Lakers and Clippers are 2 in the morning. But lads, look, get the coffee in. We're all like, I'm a teacher. We're all off work. Easy as. Look, Brendan. Obviously, I'm presuming you'll be in the bar getting mimosas on Saturday morning. Is there any specials like a chicken nugget ball, or is it all good at the minute?
There will be. I'm not privy to that information yet, but there's going to be plenty of reasons to stop by. The mimosas are happening. Games are on, and we always have the game audio on too. So as far as I know, and I know it's a biased opinion, but I've really looked. It's the best place to watch a Nuggets game in the city now. It's the only place that's so committed, and it's the right. So if you're watching this show, if you watch the DNVR show, it's the right place for you. And we're adhering to the social guidelines, the social distancing guidelines as well. So doing our best to make you feel safe and comfortable. And give you a chance to watch your favorite team. Half of you are blacked out, which is such a shame.
Yes, sir. And I'm sure I'll speak for every lad here in Europe anyway. Check out the DNVR show on DNVR every weekday, at least, with obviously Brendan, Harrison Wins, Eric, and the guys. Somebody has disappeared. Oh, okay, Ben's gone. Anyway, it's all good. Lads, I'll say this is last topic. Like, obviously, Brendan, the NBA has done a great job with this whole bubble thing. And I don't want to jump in the Broncos Europe territory here, and I don't want to start ruffling a few feathers. But you know, we've obviously seen what's happening in baseball. At least we are confident, touch wood, right now that NBA is pretty sweet at the minute, isn't it? Ironically, in Florida, it's easy to watch. There's no issues, and please God, everything's going to be okay.
It seems that way to me. I'm fairly confident they finished this thing out. I mean, like the Lou Williams news was alarming, disappointing, whatever word you want to use, but they caught it, right? He's going to have to quarantine, and so far no one that's been inside the bubble has tested positive, so no reason for concern. The one thing I would say, not to be too much of a Debbie Downer, what baseball's facing, what the NFL is going to face, and what the NBA is going to face next season is that how do you put a regular season in a bubble? I mean, they're finishing up this season. They've got these teams. They've got a postseason environment they're ready to build, but how do you do 82 or even a shortened season, 60 games in a bubble environment? The players won't go for it, and nor should they really. So I don't know. The NBA has a long way to go as well. I mean, they're trying to get through this, but the second they do, without a vaccine, to be frank, guys, there's no long-term solution for this, I think, for professional sports, especially in the United States of America.
Hopefully with time it just gets better. And I know, well, Miroslav, you've been in major lockdown, so you're used to this sort of thing. I know you were saying yesterday you were in crazy lockdown to me. So yeah. Do you think it's going to work okay?
Yeah, I certainly hope so. It seems like all the measures they're using are based on the best science we know at the moment on the virus. So I really hope it will be okay. We tried in Serbia to do a total lockdown of the whole country for like 7 weeks. It worked for some times, but after that, when we opened everything up, the things returned. So it will be tough. It will really be tough to do a 2021 season, as Brendan said. It will be a big challenge.
And Benjamin, I know, man, like obviously we're both Premier League fans. At least we've seen the season end, and look, I personally think they're taking too long. I know there's rules, but I think September the 12th is too late to start this season, because I think if it's a second wave, there's going to be issues. But at least the NBA can take heed from the fact that like leagues like the Premier League have went out and played and finished, and there hasn't been any major issues.
Sure. I think the Premier League's done a great job. Still a sore subject for me at the moment, being a Watford fan. But listen, it seems to me like the NBA are doing everything in their power to make sure that the players are safe, the staff are safe. You know, if they keep up the testing regularly on everyone every day, making sure that everyone is as safe as possible, then I agree with Brendan. I don't see a reason why they can't finish it out. Touch wood.
Yep.
Touch wood, my friends. Let's hope so. Brendan, I have to say, and obviously Miroslav and Benjamin as well, and Ben K. Brendan, obviously you're a busy man. We really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us this evening. You're welcome on any time, and hopefully we will get a beer together in that bar at some point. I can't wait to get over, man. I want to do a live tour and somehow sneak upstairs and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks a million to all of you guys, and you, Brendan, as well, for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me on, brother. Happy to do it. You know, Miroslav's the homie. I know all you guys from Twitter. That's the thing about DNVR Nuggets running that account, is that timeline. I see everything you guys are tweeting, and so I feel like I'm a man of the people, part of the streets. And so appreciate all of you, and I'm always happy to hop on and chat Nuggets.
Thanks to everybody that's interacted, guys. Appreciate you, and we'll see you later on.